Welcome, sir.
Come.
Welcome, ma'am.
Please be seated.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Shall we call you by your first name or second name?
Second name, sir.
Second. So it is pronounced as Punshiba?
Punshiba. Yes, sir.
Punshiba. Okay. So Punshiba, as I can see that you belong to Bishnupur
Yes, sir.
in Manipur,
Yes, sir.
and you have given your preference as IAS, IPS, and IFS.
Yes, sir.
And your optional is geography.
Yes, sir.
And you have done BSc honors in mathematics.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are fond of chess.
Yes, sir. Quite.
And watching football.
Yes, sir. I prefer watching football.
Okay. So let me ask you this thing. In the context of Russia, Ukraine, we have heard about one particular name, Odessa.
Yes, sir.
Why is Odessa famous?
Sir, Odessa is a port city, sir. It's a port city.
Yeah.
Sir, it is nearer to the Mariupol. So regarding, it's quite famous. I can't quite recall, sir, that is famous. It's a port city. I am aware about this.
Okay. So one of the very old films which were made was named as Odessa File.
Oh.
I don't know. It's an old film. I don't know whether you might have seen it.
So no, sir. I haven't seen it.
You might. Now during COVID-19, the Prime Minister came on the TV and he announced lockdown and curfew. He came in a nationwide statement he made. So during COVID-19, lot many liberties of the people were curtailed. You could not go out, and curfew was imposed, lockdown was there, and so on. So do you think now that the pandemic has stayed for almost 2 years now, and there may be similar more pandemics, do you think that the world is now going to witness many such curtailing of the liberties of the human beings because of this pandemic?
No, sir. COVID scenario is quite improving, sir, as of now. Sir, as for future prediction, sir, we can't never be sure, sir. For it all depends on our preparation as a nation, as a world. We need preparation, sir.
For example, Arogya Setu.
Yes, sir.
Now, Arogya Setu was literally, it was tracking the people, isn't it? The apps, etc. They were tracking the people, and in future also, the use of ICT would be there to to ensure that we have the people who are suffering from any particular disease and so on. They are effectively tracked, and the data, etc. will be all kept inside. So in a way, the privacy of the people is going to be affected. So what is your view on that?
Sir, statement is correct. Privacy is going to be affected because due to improvement in digital technology, there will be tracking, sir. But for that purpose, we have to innovate, sir. We need protection of data, sir. Like recently, PDP bill, personal data protection bill, is in the Joint Parliamentary Committee. We need to pass that, and we need to discuss. So this is a double-edged sword. So right now, privacy may be harm, but there's also maybe benefits in different dimensions. So this will be going on, sir. Even Arogya City is a right step, but it's just that we need proper consultation and we need proper safeguards for privacy, sir.
And similarly, the movement, etc., e-pass and all these things, you will have to procure a pass if you have to go to different states during COVID-19.
Yes, sir.
Pass system.
There was that. Yes.
Yeah. Now, corruption, what is the India's position at the international level?
Sir, India's, recently, sir, I can't quite recall the index, but India's performance is bad according to that index, sir, a corruption index.
Which is the country which is regarded as the least corrupt and which is regarded as the most corrupt?
Sir, least corrupt, New Zealand and Denmark, Scandinavian countries were the least corrupt nations. Okay. And most corrupt is like Sudan and North Korea are the most corrupt.
So for a civil servant, probity in governance is very much necessary.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you are posted as the collector of your district, what steps would you take to ensure that corruption is minimized? You can't remove it, root it out, yes, but sir, you can minimize it. What exactly would you do to ensure that people don't sit on the files, they don't take money from the people? 2 years' time you will have as collector. What new innovative things you can do to minimize corruption?
Sir, firstly, so first thing is using of new technology, sir, digital. So like Sir, through the use of digital transaction. So file work should be e-paperwork should be done. So this is the first step, use of digital technology. Second is, sir, awareness. So regarding my department, regarding in different departments also, awareness is need to be done. There should be proper awareness campaign regarding
Awareness of
of
whom?
staff
Of
first.
staff.
Staff first. Second is people, sir.
No,
Second.
but they are already aware that corruption is a wrong thing. What exactly awareness you want to spread?
Sir, education, sir. More like a moral education. More like
Ethics.
Ethics, more like ethics education.
Okay, all right.
Like Mission Karma Yogi, we have recently launched in 2020 Mission Karma. It's a right step, sir.
Any other things you can do?
Sir, it's all about connection and belief, sir, between people. Trust is the main thing. People need to trust in the office.
Okay, all right. Now, tell me, if now a lot of technology is coming, okay? So
Sir.
ICT is playing an important role in government.
Yes, sir.
If I were to ask you that 3 posts which can be abolished in government, it is not necessary to continue with 3 posts. Which post would you like to say that they have become redundant, no longer it is necessary in government? Any 3 posts which you think which is no longer necessary?
Sir, it's sorry, sir. It's really difficult to recollect. But can I take a guess?
Yeah, guess. Take a guess.
Sir, first is peon, sir. Multitasking
All
is
right.
can be it is directly recruited right now.
Okay.
It can be awareness. Second is sir, there is less recruitment in the even PSB. There is less recruitment of clerks, sir, due to use of ICTs, sir. Less recruitment.
No, which could be abolished.
No, we can't abolish that, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it's really difficult to say which post should be abolished. We need research. We need consultation, sir.
Have you ever seen conductors in a buses abroad? They don't have a bus conductor.
Yes, sir.
The
yes,
driver
sir.
himself acts as a conductor also.
Yes,
so conductor could be one.
Trust building, sir.
All right.
First trust building, sir.
All right. Okay. Now the scheme of odd even was tried in Delhi to bring down the pollution levels. Do you think it was a success?
Sir, right now it's not going
It's
on.
not going on.
So from that point of view, sir, I can say that implementation was difficult. Sir, we can so from that point of view, odd even formula was not successfully implemented. And so we should look for different avenues for curbing pollution, sir.
Okay. So tell me, good governance is an important thing which is being practiced in citizen-centric administration. You will also be practicing good governance.
Yes, sir.
There are 8 ingredients of good governance. Can you name 1 or 2?
Sir, according to Nolan committee, this is committee there was one is integrity, one is
good governance.
Good governance, for good governance.
Principles of good governance.
Principles
they have been laid down by World Bank.
World Bank, yes, sir.
United Nations.
Yes, sir. According to this Nolan committee that I can recall, sir, there's integrity, probity, and honesty.
They are the values.
These are the values, sir.
They are the values which a civil servant should possess.
Okay, sir.
But what in governance, what it should be like? What
sir.
are the ingredients of good governance?
First, citizen-centric, sir. First thing is citizen-centric governance.
Citizen-centric, yes, that is true.
Yes,
the good governance is meant for the citizens. But what 1 or 2 important things?
Corruption-free, which may be one. It may be ideal, sir, but corruption-free governance.
You can go back and study the 8 ingredients of good governance.
Okay, sir. I'll try. I'll look up it, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir.
How you will market Manipur to a foreigner friend?
That I should market my Manipur, sir. Sir, Manipur is a state in Indian country. It has different vibrant culture. We have tribal as well, different ethnic population. So and we are lying in this region where culture is very different. So there is Shanghai festival going on where we marketed our handicrafts, bamboo handicrafts especially, and we have different orchids also. Variety of orchids is there which are really beautiful, and it is used as medicines also, sir. So these are the fundamentals. These are the type.
Something more actually, which immediately, like you see, generate interest in my mind. Sir, and I plan a visit to Manipur.
Sir, one is floating national park Kaibul Lamjau. It's a visual attraction, and one is Siroi lily, which is one of the rarest orchids that is growing in the Ukhrul district. and one is Loktak Lake, largest freshwater lake in Northeast. These are the natural aspects that I can advertise to my foreign friends, sir.
Food, music, dance.
Yes, sir. Even there are different dimensions, sir. Even we have classical dance, Manipuri dance. Even for food, sir, we have a mix. We have a simple food. So there are many dimensions. Even, sir, I can't name all of them, but there are different varieties, sir.
You are going to compete for civil services. What do you have in mind you would like to do after suppose you get into the civil service? What is your dream actually? What you would like to do?
Sir, first, I have chosen my Manipur as a home state. Most probably, I'll be serving in Manipur. So, first thing is, Manipur is, Manipur is a this one of the disturbed states. So, low in order situation should be my first target, sir. Next is livelihood, sir. Livelihood, because there are lots of migrant population from Manipur. This is due to lack of livelihood, sir. Second is livelihood, and other factors are education and health sector. I'll be working on that, sir.
But suppose you are not posted there in Manipur.
Yeah,
You will end up somewhere in south.
Sir, it depends on the local scenario, sir. I'll be looking up for the local scenario. Overall, Indian is development in healthcare, education, and livelihood overall, sir.
So what are the challenges in our society? What are the future challenges in our society?
Future challenges regarding, sir,
Indian
environment,
society,
Indian society, sir. There's
social challenges.
social challenges, education, livelihood. These are the future social challenges in this 21st century, sir.
Education.
Livelihood, education, and health.
Anything related to social security for old age people?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
So-
elderly people. We need protection for
poor
elderly,
people?
poor people, vulnerable section of the society also, sir. We have challenges. Yes, sir.
So are we prepared actually to take on those challenges?
Yes, sir. It's still always in a work in progress, sir. Yes, we are prepared, but we need, sir. We need always. There is always room for improvement, sir.
So what has been done for the old people in India?
In India, there is the government has launched one one scheme, Pradhan Mantri via Bandhan Yojana. They are providing pension to the old people, sir. Next is all age home. Government is planning on constructing all age people home in every district. They are targeting in every district, sir.
Suppose the younger generation is not able to take care of their old people. What will happen in the society? And NGOs also they actually withdraw. That sorry, we have other things to do in the society, we cannot. What will be the scenario in India after 10 years?
Sir, as senior citizens are dependent section of the population, they need support, but from government and even their family also. So, there will be deterioration of knowledge, traditional knowledge. There will be different deterioration and cultural respect. There will be decrease in cultural respect also. So, our traditions will be lost if we don't protect our elderly population, sir.
Punshiba, mathematics.
Yes,
So, what do you say? Zero is just a symbol or it has value?
sir. Ma'am, zero is both. I think it's both. Sometimes it can be it's a very useful number, ma'am, but this null value, it has null value. In terms of it doesn't have any value, but for as a representation of in different section like a 10, 100, it's used as a representation as
So,
a
it
symbol.
depends on its positioning, where it is positioned.
Yes.
Okay. You talked of the disharmony in the society, the insurgency. Yes? Is it still? Where do you place this insurgency? At the peak, or it is coming down, waning?
Ma'am, I think it's in the waning, coming down stage, ma'am, in Manipur.
So, if you are to take up this, how or what would you recommend to the government should be the urgent steps?
Recently, the government has decreased the disturbed area in Northeast in 3 states by Home Minister. Steps should be first consultation with the local population. We need committee. We need to establish committee. We need to consult the people about the local scenario, and as well as we always need to analyze the current situation regarding notification of AFSPA disturbed areas, ma'am.
What exactly, according to you, is the dispute?
Ma'am, dispute is regarding the accession of Manipur by in 1949. It was started from there, ma'am. accession of Manipur in Indian states, Indian nation.
So what is the local demand?
Local demand. Firstly, they used to demand in 1980s. They were demanding for succession of Manipur. Right now, they're just working for their vested interest. Right now, they have advanced more or less they have abandoned their demand for succession right now.
Okay. And as you said, because of this discord within the state, the youth are migrating for better opportunities for employment.
Yes.
So what happens in the state? It's only the older population which remains there.
Right.
Unemployment, which will give rise to further social unrest.
Ma'am, unemployment is a big issue, ma'am, in Manipur. Manipur is one of the most unemployed state. It's a big issue. Livelihood is a big issue in Manipur.
So what do you do? What is the immediate step which you can take as an administrator?
Immediate step. First is looking providing program for the development of local resources. First, I can develop agricultural sector. Different products can be marketed, ma'am, and education to the local people also, ma'am.
Now, very close to the northeast is the country called Bhutan,
Yes.
where the index of happiness is very high. But the neighboring Indian states have a very poor index of happiness. Why?
Ma'am, Bhutan is a kingdom, ma'am. They have small GDP, but as well as they have a good eco-climatic condition, and they are ruling it quite good. The kingdom is ruling as a quite good nation. But regarding Northeast, we have first problem is ethnic problem. As a Northeast, we have different ethnic population who have different aspirations also, sir. So they are demanding more from the Indian Union. That's why I think their happiness index.
So, what are they demanding? 1, 2, 3.
They are demanding for job recognition. They are wanting to come in the mainstream society.
Okay. You spoke of the Loktak Lake, and you also spoke of the floating national park. Yeah. So, what is the the state animal of Manipur?
Sangai, ma'am,
Sangai,
bro
yeah,
antlered deer.
And it is said to be the dancing deer. So,
Yes.
can you just explain that?
Ma'am,
How does it dance? What is it? I mean, why is it called the dancing deer?
dancing deer because in their mating season they try to be quite gregarious in their surrounding. They are quite gregarious in their surroundings, so they are called dancing deer, jumping.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Punshiba.
Yes.
Now, Government of India first introduced what they call lookist policy, then they said actist policy. Has this policy given some benefits on the ground to northeastern states? Have you seen some visible improvements in that part of the country?
Yes, sir.
Like
Act policy is providing ample opportunities to the people of Northeast. Like construction of national highway is getting in much faster pace, sir, and promotion of GI Tech, and connection to Southeast Asia is providing many opportunities in trade, especially in trade. I can see that Act policy is quite successful.
so you think there have been visible improvements in the area?
Yes, sir.
The condition of roads, the communication has improved.
Yes.
The trading is much more now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you are a student of mathematics. We're talking about zero. What is the contribution of Aryabhatta to mathematics? Have you read Aryabhatta?
Yes, sir. He was an Indian mathematician during Gupta period. Sir, contribution regarding calculation of value of pi, he contributed in that. About rotation of the earth, even revolution of the earth, he calculated that, sir. So
And he
even
also-
in astronomy, he contributed.
And you are the first person who gave the place value of zero.
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes.
Do you know that he wrote numericals into alphabets, and then it was very easily, all his written part is not numericals, though he talks about numericals, but they are all Sanskrit verses.
Okay, like algebra, sir. Oh, use of algebra.
He has given, it's a very systematic method. You have not seen,
I haven't seen his book, but
see the Aryabhatta.
okay, sir.
It's a very small book, you can get it on internet
Yes, sir.
with 4 different sections. Beautiful.
Oh, sir. I'll look at it. Sure, sir.
Now, as a student of geography,
Can you tell me one part which Russian Federation sold to America?
Alaska, sir.
When was it done?
Sir, I can't remember the exact year. Sir, Alaska was sold to USA. I can recall.
Approximately how many years?
Approximately, sir, I think in the ending of 19th century, maybe, sir. I think in the ending of
1867. And what was the reason why they sold it?
Sir, due to management, Russia at that time there was Russian Empire, so Russian Empire was getting too huge to manage, so they decided to sell Alaska to USA, sir, at that time.
Okay. Now you see there are two economic models in the world. One model we follow, which is based on democracy. The economic development is slow because in the democracy things are all the time. Decision making process is not very fast. Implementation is not very accurate and prompt. China follows a very different method, that they have a dictatorial authoritarian approach. The central planning is done and then it is implemented at all levels. They have achieved much higher economic growth since say 1990. We have not been able to achieve. So do you think the Chinese method should be adopted by India also?
No, sir. No, sir. China have different approaches. There is different from India, and we India as a nation have different approach. Sir, we can't blueprint. We can't follow their blueprint, sir. We have to follow our model. We have mixed economy. We are a welfare state. China is not a welfare state. It is ruled by one party model, and they are run by one party rule. And sir, as sir told, their economic model is based on a CPC, sir. But for our we are democratic nation, we need consensus of people regarding different nation. We need concentration with states also. So our economic model is slow, but it's a more beneficial economic model. More sustainable, sir. More sustainable.
Okay. Okay. Now, in Myanmar, this government has changed about a year and a half ago. The army has again taken over, and we finally recognize the new government. We are also interacting with them. Do you think it was a good step on the part of government?
Yes, sir. We have to realize, we have to be realistic, sir, pragmatic. So when there was junta overtake in February 2021, the government of India decided to interact, and recently Harsh Bingla, Foreign Secretary, visited there and signed many MOUs. So it's a pragmatic decision, sir. It's a right step. We have to. We are a democratic nation, but still we have to recognize it's our neighbor, and we have to recognize. Sir.
Because the Western countries are imposing some sort of sanctions and putting hurdles, and they're asking us to do the same. Do you think?
No, sir. Our foreign policy should be independent, sir. We have sovereign foreign policy. We are a sovereign nation, and sovereign foreign policy is needed, sir.
So you think that our decision is right to interact with the government and to move forward despite change of the.
Despite changing scenario, we have to accept the reality, sir. And the government, the recent step of government is in the right direction, sir.
Okay. Now, we have been having periodic elections in India. Every other month you have some election in some state. And the Prime Minister Modi, and even before that, there were some people who talked, even Atal Bihari Vajpayee also talked that we should have one election throughout the period of 5 years, only one. One nation, one election. Do you think that is a good proposal?
Sir, sir, the right now the government is trying to process through this steps for simultaneous election. So for me personally, I think it's quite challenging for conduction of simultaneous election. Election Commission has told that we are ready to conduct simultaneous election, and they have their own planning. Sir, I think it's quite challenging, but still, sir, we need further consultation in that regards. And I can't be never sure, sir. We need consultation with states, as India is a federation, sir, federal country. India.
And it also needs certain constitutional amendments.
Yes.
Mhm. So it's not easy to implement. It's not easy. Okay, thank you.
Punshiba, what's the meaning of your name?
Sir, my name is Punshiba, sir. In Manipuri, we have Punshi means life, and Punshiba is a completion of that life. So in Hindi, there is similarity between Amarjit and Manipur, those who have long lives, sir. So my literal meaning is the person who is having a long life.
Amarjit.
So, what is the life expectancy now in India?
It's around 75, sir.
25.
Yeah, 74.
What about women and men?
Sir, women have greater life expectancy and men have lower life expectancy.
Okay, good. Since you are from Manipur, what is the AFSP Act?
Sir, Act was passed in 1958 during Jawaharlal Nehru. It's a act which give extra powers to the armed forces, especially those who are operating in challenging areas like border states, like we have Kashmir, we have northeastern region. So it provides special power through this act to armed forces.
And what has happened to it recently?
Recently, sir, the government of India decided to reduce the disturbed areas in 3 states of Northeast, sir. Assam, Nagaland, and Manipur.
So where have they removed and where have they kept this?
Sir, in Manipur, especially, sir, I am aware that it is kept in all the hill districts, and in plain districts they have reduced in some police stations.
So how? What is the response from Northeast?
Sir, people were quite jovial, they were quite happy for the reduction, and we are looking forward to the as a whole reduction as a all repealment of this disturbed area in the future.
Okay, very good. Now there's a lot of talk about big data and machine learning. You think there is some scope for India? Whether India should be interested in this?
Yes, sir.
Because we have a lot of unemployment in youth. Whether we need a machine learning, automations, and big data, where can we use it?
Sir, regarding technology, machine learning, and big data, we need research. We must participate in it, because if we lag behind, we can never compensate for that. In one side, we have a less job provision, and in one side, we have development of technology. So we need to consider both sides, because they are complementing each other. Not
Where can we use it?
Yes, sir.
Where can we use it? What will be the benefit to India?
Big data can be used in banking sector, even in implementation of digital data. There is use of big data. Even machine learning, we can develop in AI. We can complement it with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, there is a distinction. Digitization is not the same as big data and machine learning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if there is any role or benefit to India by use of big data and machine learning,
Sir, it can be
which sector it will be most useful?
IT sector, sir. It can be our resources.
IT is a provider.
Even we can use in social sector also.
Like
Use, we have big data in the form of Aadhaar, sir. So where government delivers targeted deliveries of schemes, sir. Better analysis of data can be conducted through big data, sir, database.
But do you know how it works? I mean, what is really a big data? Huh?
Technicality, I'm not sure, sir, about technicality.
Okay. Now you're talking about various corruption index, for example. Similarly, there is a happiness index, and I would think Indians, in spite of many problems, they look very happy, but their happiness index was very low.
Sir,
Why this contradiction in my perception and the reality?
Sir, because of the survey data, sir, the way they conduct their survey data is confined in maybe, sir, urban areas. They are confined. Survey data is urban regions, sir.
Even urban Indians are not unhappy. I mean, we are very low in bottom.
Sir, it depends on survey data.
What does it include? What is that happiness index include?
Sir, I'm not sure about indicators, sir. Sorry, sir.
I think you should know that. And my last question, since you are from geography, have you heard of Kalpasar project?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware.
No, it's a big project connected with geographical issues. Thank you.
I'll look into it, sir. Sure.
So, Punshiba, before we send you to the waiting room for a few minutes,
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious to know, since you are fond of chess,
Yes, sir.
have you heard about Queen's Gambit?
Yes, sir. Queen's Gambit.
So, Queen's Gambit, what is it?
Sir, it's a Queen's Gambit is the opening of. You have to open with e4, and you have to sacrifice the pawn before the queen, so that you for the positional advantage, sir.
There is a OTT web series also on Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, and
Have you seen
Netflix.
that?
No, sir, I haven't seen it, sir.
It's about a child prodigy.
Childhood, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it, sir.
Yeah. the second thing which I was curious to know was that Manipur is one of the 7 sister states.
Yes.
So, what is the similarity and difference between these 7 sisters?
Yes, similarities is so we have a problem contiguous border. We have contiguous border. Some people's similarities is that some Naga people are staying in Nagaland. Even some Naga people are staying in Manipur also. Contiguous border. There is contiguous border. This is similarity. And difference is in maybe sir, maybe in religion, sir. There is a population of Christianity, and there is Hindu population in plain areas. So these are the differences.
So, we'll take you to the waiting room for a few minutes, and we'll call you again for feedback.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Just wait there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day, ma'am.
We'll call you again.
Yes,
just
yes.
after that.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, please come. Please take the seat,
Thank you, sir.
Punshiba.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
So, let me ask you a frank your view. How do you think you fare at this interview?
Ma'am, sir, I fared quite well, sir.
You fared quite
Quite
well.
well.
Okay, you are satisfied with your
Yes, sir.
performance. in
Yes,
this. Okay, so let me say, Punshiba, we feel that you have performed very well.
Thank you, sir.
And when is your interview fixed?
Sir, 8th of April, sir.
8th April.
8th April, sir.
Another 4
Three,
days.
4 days.
4 days.
4 days, sir.
So quite near. Anyway, so you can let me just tell you what exactly.
Yes, sir.
So your answer regarding look east and act east, that was very good. And besides that, Alaska and China, Myanmar, India economic issue, relationships, etc. That you were able to come out very well. Geography, 7 sister states, you were able to come out with this, and the 2 economic model also. And one nation, one election, that question was also asked, which also you were able to reply. And life expectancy also the question. Happiness index, that of course that question was asked to you.
Yes,
that,
sir, yeah,
why
indicated.
is it that in India people do not appear to be that happy, and there in the Bhutan very much. So that of course was thing you can dwell on that much more.
Yes, sir.
And what are the elements of the happiness indicator?
Yes, sir. I'll look up to it.
So
Sure.
insurgency also, why you are aware about that? One question which ma'am wanted to ask you: the tracks, railway tracks, how far they have progressed in Manipur?
Yes, sir. Till Noni Tamenglong, near
Hmm?
Noni town, Tamenglong.
Has it started?
No, ma'am. From Tamenglong district, yes. The trial run is going on.
Trial run.
Is going on.
So we found that you were otherwise quite alert. You were able to come out with reasonably good answers. Your communication skills are very good,
Thank you.
and you appear very confident. You have a poise, good demeanor, and you're smart. And we could not find any problem with your communication or articulation.
Thank you.
Your structuring of sentences, everything was fine,
Thank you, sir.
and there were no pauses. You did not bluff. You were honest in your answers.
Thank you, sir.
The question about the development, what exactly would you like to do if you were posted? So in the first place, you said that you have given Manipur as your the first option.
Yes.
So you said that if I am posted in Manipur, these are the activities. Now, please understand that since you are an aspirant, so naturally you will not be aware about how actually, what are the nature of duties of a civil servant in the early years and then the after years and so on. So what you can do and what you cannot do, that you have to understand. So for example, if you are never posted in agriculture sector, you will not be able to touch upon that sector,
Yes.
barring the fact that you may be posted as collector, where you can play a coordination role.
Yes.
So it will depend very much on the area. Unemployment, yes, is a problem. It is a national problem. And I do not know, as a collector, I do not know whether you will be able to do anything in that regard. It's a massive problem, and it requires many things to be done, in creation of new jobs in government, then through private sector by encouraging the manufacturing sector and so on. So be slightly candid, because the supplementary will come. How will you do that? How will you provide the employment? How will you provide this? You have to be slightly, you will say that I will implement the policies of the government in the best possible manners. And when the planning stage comes, I will try to plan things typically for the people of Arunachal Pradesh. About AFSPA, you were able to come out with correct answers.
Yes, sir.
And if you have any questions, you can ask us.
Sir, I was quite curious about the zero question.
Yeah,
I'm
zero.
not-
Yeah, zero is
And,
important.
An
for-
Aryabhatta book also,
Yeah,
sir.
because
I'll
it
look
was
up to
The
it,
face
sir.
value of zero
Ah.
was first notified by Aryabhatta
Yes,
in a book called Aryabhatiya. You write Aryabhatiya on internet,
yes, sir.
you'll find the complete text
Yes.
in Sanskrit with English
Translation.
translation.
So when we talk about zero, then you also prepare about infinity also. What is zero and what is infinity? So zero is insignificantly small, and infinity is extremely large, which cannot be measured. So you must understand the two. You must know the different, very very simple things like Ramanujam, the mathematics day, and the concept of natural numbers, the theory of numbers, and so on. And of course, the disharmony which is there, which you talked about, the social disharmony and all those things.
Yes.
You will be knowing that particular thing which you brought out here, and that's about it. And I think you have all the positive things. Just go back and don't feel complacent, because complacency sometimes leads you to those areas where you then repent. So go on preparing. Your knowledge base should keep on increasing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And that is why I asked you that the seven sister states, if someone asks you what is the difference, you must know the difference in terms of culture, geography, and the economic development of the seven sisters, and so on.
Yes.
And the subject of yours is geography.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Geography is a very vast subject,
Yes, sir.
and you have to prepare quite well. You can talk about, they can ask you about tides, they can ask you about the aurora borealis, they can ask you about North Pole and South Pole.
Yes.
They can talk to you about environment and climate change. So that is a huge topic. You will have to learn that, and of course your hobbies, etc.
Yes, sir.
So chess is one, and math, and the other was your watching football.
And
So
anime.
yeah.
There's
So
one
that-
question that project sir mentioned there.
Yeah, culture project is a huge project. I think in last 20 years or so, we have done some feasibility studies and those reports. Basically, it is connecting Saurashtra, Bhavnagar to Bharuch, and making it all that area desalination.
Desalination. Oh, in the Bay of Khambat.
Bay of Khambat. But it's a huge project. But it's worth looking into it because of the geography knowledge.
Okay, sir.
And about big data and machine learning, you didn't know. You were trying to guess a lot of things. And
Yes, sir.
one thing that can be used in India is corruption and black money.
Oh.
tracing.
Okay. Tracking of bread money.
But before that, you should understand the concept of what is
Big data.
and machine learning.
There's minor line between them. No? They are all complementing, but
Digitization is not a big data.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So
I'll look up to it. Sir.
corruption, you were able to come out rightly with.
But that's a big application in monitoring black transactions.
Oh, okay, sir. I'll look up.
And curtailing of liberties during the COVID-19, etc. That question also you were able to come out.
Thank you,
So
sir.
some of the specific areas where we have suggested to you, you can think about it.
Yes, sir. I'll look up to it.
Since mathematics is your subject, so naturally, automatically there is a connection with big data and data analytics also.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yes, sir.
So do you have any other question to ask?
No, sir. I have my dressing.
This is absolutely fine.
And share what
Yes, I'll check on them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And whenever you give answers, your typical style is absolutely fine. You think, pause, and then come out with the answers. Don't be in a hurry to give any answer,
Yes.
because you have to give answers which are balanced, non-controversial,
Mm.
explaining both the sides of the issue, pros and cons. Give adequate examples in support of your answer.
Yes.
That will make your answer much more impressive.
Yes, sir.
All the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you, sir.
Good
Thank you,
luck.
ma'am. Good luck. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.